What's up, everybody? We're here. Final week of the season, week 14. And let me just tell you, man, there's a lot to unravel here. Also, I'm going to go into the recap, and now I'm going to explain the qualifiers of getting into the playoffs that I think is the fairest. If anybody has any questions about it, they can reach out to me. But I'm not trusting NFL.com because I don't know if they're going to get it right. I'll go more into that in a minute, but let's first jump into it. Eli, two-time Super Bowl MVP, coming in on a 5-game winning streak, needing a win to clinch the top seed, going up against the last place Iron Picket Fence, who was 2-10. And Iron Picket Fence pulls off the 116.74 to 116.32 victory. Talk about upsets of upsets. Going into Sunday night's game, I was up by 70 plus points. Fucking Jordan comes back. Jordan's been my nemesis in this league. I've lost to him once in the championship game. I lost to him last year. That cost me a playoff spot and cost me a championship. And now I lose against him this year. And let me just tell you, man. If this plays out, and because of seeding, I lose out, I'm gonna be so pissed. I made this owner. I go to 9-3. Jordan goes up to 3-10 and avoids the worst record in league history. Next matchup, Flying Buffalo Wings, Team Deal, two teams in the playoffs. And it's Flying Buffalo Wings doubles up on Team Deal 162 to 81. Shellacking. Another matchup, two teams already in the playoffs. Legendary Giant Gotham Knights and his Legendary Giant with the 174-159 victory. Now we get to the teams battling out for the last few playoff spots. Ritter Me Dish, Bushwick Hitman. Winner stays alive and fights for a possible playoff spot. Loser is eliminated, is done. And it's Ritter Me This with the 141-122 victory. Bubba, you have been eliminated from this season's playoff play. Marty, you fight to live another day. You've got a big matchup this week. Next up, Brooklyn Giants, Bad Boy. Winner puts himself in a great position to make a playoff spot. Loser is going to fight to get in, and is Brooklyn Giants with the 142-101 victory. Brooklyn Giants going up to 7-6, and it only needs a win and is in. Bad Boys needs a win and may need some help. Next matchup, MC8000, Enough is Enough. Marco fighting for his playoff life, and Marco pulls off the 135-104 victory to stay alive and fight another day into this final week. And then the final matchup, Steel Curtain 13, Frank's Jets, Steel Curtain 13, my surprise pick to make it to the playoffs, and they get the 211-118 victory. They go to 6-7. Frank's Jets down to 6-7. And what does this open up? Well, we've got the 5 teams who are in the playoffs. Eli, two-time Super Bowl MVP, followed by Team Deal, Legendary Giant, Flying Buffalo Wings, Gotham Knights, all in. At number 6, you have Brooklyn Giants. Now, Brooklyn Giants is 7-6. They win, they're in. But if they lose, here's the thing, and this is what I'm doing with the playoff stack. If there are teams tied for playoff spots at the end, the final spots, the same record, I'm going to go on head-to-head overall with the group of teams that are tied for that last playoff spot. What does that mean? Well, Brooklyn Giants is 7-6. But if they lose and they drop down to 7-7, they've lost to Steel Curtain 13, Frank's Jets, Ritter Me This, and Team 8000. The only win they have is against Bad Boys. So if it's Bad Boys, I mean, if it's Ritter Me This and it's Frank's Jets and Steel Curtain 13 all tied at 7-7 with them, their Brooklyn Giants is eliminated because he's lost to all 3 of them. Now if it's Bad Boys and Frank's Jets and Steel Curtain, then he's 1-2. And the teams that have the best records against combined record against the other teams are the teams that are going to win. Brooklyn Giants, they win, they're in. Bad Boys has lost to Brooklyn Giants, but has beat all the other potential contenders. They beat Steel Curtain 13, they beat Frank's Jets, they beat Ritter Me This, and they beat MC8000. So Bad Boys has a strong chance of making it to the playoffs if they go 7-7. Now, if they drop down, they lose to 6-8, then you have teams that can overleap them and get into the playoffs. So that's the same way it goes. Frank's Jets, has lost to Steel Current 13 and to Bad Boys, but has wins against Brooklyn Giants, Rid Me This, and then Team 8000. Rid Me This has losses to Frank's Jets and Bad Boys, but has wins against Steel Current 13, Brooklyn Giants, and Team 8000. Steel Current has lost to Bad Boys and Team 8000. Rid Me This wins against Frank's Jets and Brooklyn Giants, and Team 8000 losses to Bad Boys, Frank's Jets, and Rid Me This, but has wins against Steel Current 13 and Brooklyn Giants. So this next week, there's 4 crucial games that's going to determine the final 3 spots of this playoff season. That first matchup is going to be Legendary Giant against Brooklyn Giants. Juan is already in. Brooklyn Giants is fine for their playoff run. The other matchup is Rid Me This against Is Enough Is Enough. Well, when we go back, Legendary Giant, Brooklyn Giants, Juan is favored to win that matchup. Then we have Enough Is Enough against Rid Me This, and Ojo is eliminated. He's out this year. He's done. Marty's fine for his playoff life, but it's Enough Is Enough who's favored by a point, but favored. Then you have Bad Boys and Steel Current and Ariel. Talk about bad luck, bad injuries, and a bad bye week at the worst time. Washington has a bye week 14, so Howell is out. And then you go ahead and lose your other quarterback to injury. Trevor Lawrence with the ankle injury has no quarterback going into this week in a crucial game. And right now, Bad Boys is favored to win, and I mean, Steel Current, unless they pull off a miracle area, man, the comeback may fall short, and that would have been an impressive comeback. You were 2-7. Everyone had you dead. You make the trade for Najee Harris. You go on a run, win 4 straight, and if you win, you're in. But Bad Boys is favored, and honestly, I mean, it looks like Eddie. I mean, listen, anything can happen, but it looks like Eddie may pull it out because he also has the tiebreakers against everybody else. And then the final matchup is Team 8000, Frank's Jets. Frank, who started selling his team because he didn't think he had a playoff shot, and all of a sudden pulls off an improbable win, and now needs a win and he's in. But that same goes for Marco. So 4 great matchups coming up. Alex, I'm playing you this week. We're both in. I'm playing for to be the #1 seed. Right now it's between me and Team Deal. If Team Deal wins and I lose, Danny, you're the #1 seed. If I win or Danny loses, I'm the #1 seed. It's going to be a great matchup this week, man. It's going to be great to see this last teams play out. Like I said, that's going to be the playoff format. If anybody has any questions on it, or they have any other opinions on it, feel free to reach out to me. But I think that's the fairest way. Total win-loss record against the opposing teams. They're tied for that same playoff spot. I think the teams that did best among those teams are the teams that deserve to move forward in the playoffs. I'm also going to look in the, we'll talk about that at the end of the season, but the lottery system for the teams who don't make the playoffs and how the rankings are going to go with the draft for next year. You guys all have a great week. Good luck to Brooklyn Giants, Bad Boys, Rid Me This, Frank's Jets, Steel Current 13, and Team 8000. 3 of those teams are going to the playoffs. You guys have a good week. One last thing. All you Met fans out there who may be a little upset right now, don't worry about it. So they're going to the Yankees. Okay. I like what the Mets are doing. It doesn't seem like a lot, but you know what? The last few years we made a lot of big name splashes, and we did nothing. 1 playoff game win. That's it. I like what they're doing now. They're building depth, and more importantly, they're focusing on what really hurt us last year. And it wasn't the offense. It was the bullpen, and it was starting pitching. And those are the 2 emphases they're making this year, which I like a lot. Besides, I got a feeling Soto's going to become a Met next year anyway, and it's not going to cost us a prospect. You guys have a good week. G-Man. Talk to you soon, man.